As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle as it soars in beautiful skies that just can't be ignored. And by this country I'll always stand, for freedom and liberty for every man. When times are hard and things get rough, America always stands ready and rough. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land.
Welcome. How you guys doing tonight? A lot going on in the news, of course, as always. Hi, Rodney. Hi, Tia. Hi, Linda. Hi, Matt. Hi, Nana. Hi, Debbie Martin. Hi, Debbie Rogers. Hi, Karen. Hi, BK. Hi, Linda. Thank you for that donation. Hi, Richard. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Melinda. You guys joining in here. Glad to have you guys here. Well, of course, I'm going to talk about everything that's going on. Fighter jets at night. Yeah. There's going to be more fighter jets. Just wait. As, of course, the United States is deploying both the 82nd and the 101st Airborne to Europe. Yes, both the 82nd and the 101st will be fully deployed later this year in service. The announcement came, of course, this week. Our one-for-one replacement, supposedly, for teams already stationed there. But as we know, those are the two biggest air divisions, or airborne divisions, the United States has. It's the 82nd and 101st. So, of course, stating they're just a direct replacement, it's just crazy. Of course, this is part of a normal cycle of keeping troops in Europe. We've been, obviously, keeping roughly 4,300 soldiers and the entire time in Europe. I mean, watching this increase is nothing new. Something new is, though, watching Russia, China, and not only that, the United States nuclear test sites being prepared, as sparking fears of the first explosion in over 27 years of nuclear bombs Nuclear scientists say there really is a lot of hints we're seeing that suggest the countries may resume nuclear testing. Even us as the United States. I mean, all to enhance readiness, of course, for detonation tests. Satellite images are showing the steps being done on these nuclear testing sites. So, of course, there's no way to try to deny that. Everybody, of course, saying, oh, no, this isn't happening. But, of course, the test treaty, the test ban treaty, of course, that was introduced in 1996, has not been ratified. I mean, although China and the U.S., among 5 other nations, have signed the treaty, it was never ratified. They never ratified the treaty. And watching these sites all being prepared at once, and of course, our government, obviously, causing more problems than good. We can't even keep track of our own military planes. That's what we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. Of course, one F-35 is still missing in action. Presumed that somebody keeps mentioning Cuba. I'm not going to get into that, but if it did go to Cuba, we know it's in China's hands. Of course, the F-35, our newest stealth fighter jet, being in China's hands would be tragic. And of course, it would hurt the country for a long time. And of course, I don't think we'll get anything better. I don't think we'll get any better news out of this anytime soon than watching everything unfold. It's sad. That's not it. I mean, hackers are going to be let loose on voting gear ahead of the U.S. election season. That's right. Ethical hackers will be given voluntary access to digital scanners, ballot markers, electronic poll books, all in the name of making the voter process more resilient to cyber threats. I think this is a joke at this point because all you need is a left-wing or a right-wing nut being involved within this hacking or the ethical hacking of those voter machines, of course, as the manufacturers open their wares to hackers in an effort to harden voter security ahead of next year. This could just lead to these hackers, of course, finding flaws within the software and selling them to the highest bidder. Of course, nobody's talking about that. Nobody wants to. China knows where all the silos are. Everybody does. Yeah, flyovers of Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, of course, and then as soon as the storm passed, sharing the recording doesn't look right there. Yeah, fighter jets fly over with no warning and no radar. I think this people need to just be prepared. People need to be prepared. And the FBI chief today comes out and says China has a bigger hacker program than the America could even imagine. Of course, we know major casinos were breached, and along with major casinos, several branches of government. Of course, this wasn't mentioned in articles posted last week when hackers managed to hack giants of MGM or Caesars in recent weeks and broke into systems for at least 3 other companies in manufacturing, retailing, and technology space. Nobody's really talking about the other hacks that happened at the same time as this that were infrastructure hacks. Of course, nothing was put on those, just the ransom, of course, that shut down the computer systems of the major hotels or major casinos. It's bad. The data breaches are, of course, a sign that America's cyber defense and cyber intrusions affecting hundreds of companies every year, from healthcare providers to telecom. Watching, of course, this get harder as we know nuclear war is on the brink. Watching, of course, MGM, of course, pay out over $40 million for ransomware that's still going to be on their system and they're probably never going to find. It's a great thing about ransomware is when it's in hiding, it's in hiding. Nobody can see it. It's hard to find. It's hard to detect on systems, especially great systems or systems massive as MGMs. They'd be hiding in one single machine amongst thousands. Nobody would ever see it coming. And the FBI chief, of course, warned of the hacker program in China being bigger than anybody can imagine. And watching the, of course, combination of Chinese military strategy, and of course Chinese hackers. U.S. officials have been sounding the alarm for years about Chinese hackers. But even after decades of waving their hands over theft of American secrets, we're worry struck. I mean, honestly, Chinese has already had the biggest hacker program than every other major nation combined, even the United States, including on those other nations. Chinese hackers still outnumber the cyber personnel to at least 50 to 1. It's bad. Our border is overtaken. Now our cyber defense is overtaken. And we know they have more planes than us, more ships than us. What else is out? What else is left? I mean, honestly, they're literally the southern border sending military-age men, Chinese military-age men are coming across the border in rapid flow. Nobody's talking about the problem of the crisis of immigration. It's not just an immigration of numbers, of immigration of asylum seekers. It's the illegals that are entering the country that mean to do harm. Of course, America's officials need to, and media need to frequently and hype up the frequency, because Chinese-linked espionage in this country is overtaking major parts of our country. I mean, watching these thousands of hacks within the last couple of days and cyber intrusions, nobody's doing anything about it. Got loads of trainloads of military-age men from China just pouring into our border. Meanwhile, we're getting hacked by every single Tom, Dick, and Harry out there, knowing that we can't stand a chance with that. I mean, this does not look good. Now, was this F-35 that was, and according to the pilot, an emergency call that he said, the plane ejected him by itself. So was this plane hacked? Was this F-35 hacked and diverted to Cuba like speculation is calling right now? I mean, this is a big question, because if it was, and Chinese managed to hack our defense infrastructure, which they've hacked the Pentagon in the past, so it wouldn't be a surprise, but it would be devastating. It means anything we were planning, at least as a counteroffense, they would already know. Where would that lead us? Just sad. Watching the state of our union and the state of Biden's and the Pentagon and everybody, the DoD's plans to continue to support Ukraine, even if Congress can't reach a deal, even if the American people don't want to see money going to Ukraine. Biden, of course, administration promising $325 million more in military aid to Ukraine today. And an announcement, this is ridiculous. Yes, another $325 million for critical security and defense needs. Oh, wait, because Russia just blew up another stockpile of depleted uranium rounds that were supposed to be for the Abrams tanks that are coming. Nobody's mentioning that. I mean, Ukraine did manage to make a swift hit on Russia today as Ukrainian missile strike hit the headquarters of the Russian Navy in Crimea. Some damage was reported, not major. I mean, there's a serviceman missing, and main building has damage. But we're not talking a lot of vessels being damaged in this attack, which that would be the preeminent thing to do, is to take on the vessels that are sitting in the Black Sea fleet, or at least close the port with bombs. Taking out a building really does nothing. Over the last 19 months, Ukraine's made very to little progress, punching small holes here and there, but Russia's easily patching them back up and closing those holes and moving their forces around. I mean, this is ridiculous. And all this on the means of the United States moving towards, of course, the debt ceiling showdown, again, or the budget showdown. Let's call it what it is. It's a joke. I mean, watching what's happening is very sad. I mean, Republicans are pissed at the Pentagon about Ukrainian aid from the U.S. government around the shutdown. And the thing is, Congress isn't even sitting in session right now, as of course they went home again. And they only had till the 30th. They don't care about the American people anymore. It's official. They do not care. If they cared, they would be sitting there getting it done. Biden will, of course, do things to help America. Heck, the auto worker union now has more strikes happening, as less and less employees are showing up to work, destabilizing the nation. The Fed is, of course, having to cut staff after more than a decade of payroll growth because they can't afford it anymore. Nobody can afford anything. Watching prices climb and, of course, wages climb, trying to keep up with prices, which they're not. They're well behind it, and everybody knows it. But watching this unfold, having major government to branches like this having to shut down, it's just sad and ridiculous. It is utter despair for us Americans. And I feel bad. People in North Carolina, of course, facing the storm. If you guys living in the way of this storm that's coming, be prepared. It's going to be lots of flash flooding. I imagine storm surge will be a major issue on the North Carolina coast as we watch and wait to see what's going to happen with this storm. It's one thing after another, though. You got Ophelia, of course, getting ready to already starting to hammer the coast. Hopefully it doesn't do any damage in DC. I can't wish bad things on people. But hopefully it does no damage in DC or floods DC. Yeah. Can your food, get ready, prepare, because something is happening. Yeah. It's that. Massive hacks, China moving massive amounts of troops. Nobody's talking about that as well. Massive amount of troop movement and ship movement in China. Russia, of course, calling up their ready reserves, which is almost 1 million men. So where they're going to put them, we don't know. We know that Russia has been pulling children and families out of the occupied territories into Russia and Belarus at this point. Over 50 children, of course, that were left orphaned by the war in Ukraine. On the Russians' annex side, were moved to Belarus. Of course, that caused public outcry. But what are they preparing for? China's been heading for Taiwan, and I see it happening anytime now, especially that U.S. infrastructure is being hacked at such random or ready rates. And we don't know what truly happened to F-35. Well, they want to tell us because there's 2 missing. One supposedly crashed, the other one they just let disappear in the news. Like nobody knew what happened. Of course, they're trying to go after Trump again, trying to get him off the ballot in Colorado. That's the case open there for him not to be allowed on the ballot due to supposable insurrection. But of course, he was never charged with insurrection. None of the cases he's on now charge him with insurrection. And of course, the impeachment trial for insurrection was found that he didn't do insurrection. So Colorado trying to use a law to ban a presidential on a ballot because of it causing an insurrection, or actually has to be played part of an insurrection, not just causing it. So this is very troubling times. Very troubling times. And you know, the U.S. and everybody else, let's talk more about Ukraine because this is getting important. Bakhmut, supposedly, and it's not strategical advantage for anybody. That's just a piece of land that's not valuable. But yet Ukraine is vowing to try to retake Bakhmut after they lost it over a year ago. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Ukraine is trying to keep pushing the same narrative that they're doing so well in this war, while Russia managed to fight in Syria against the United States. Whether we want to admit it or not, we're at war with Russia in Syria. We've been that way for years. Russia's actively fighting that front while they're fighting a front in Ukraine, not losing much ground there. It's sad. It is sad. And then to watch more money being dumped there as American citizens are homeless, going hungry, losing their cars, losing their jobs. Oh, we're going to make sure immigration or illegal immigrants and other countries come first. Those are the most important things, right? Forget about an American citizen. They're just eaters. They're just people to vote for us and to give us money to do what we want to do. That's where our government's acting, anyways. It's sad. It is absolutely sad watching this all unfold. And I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. I mean, here in the United States, yeah, we're having money problems. Yeah, we're having unions stepping out. We're having protests about climate protests shutting down freaking cities. Getting mad when they get ran over for standing in the street. Well, you stand in the street and you're blocking traffic, and police tell people to leave in their cars. They have to leave in one way or another. And then you have the Pope, of course. I can't get into this, but acceptance, I understand, is one thing of people's rights to believe whatever they want to believe. But I'm sorry, there's only two genders in this country, or in this world. You're either born with a male penis or a female vagina. You cannot be a they, an it, a them. It doesn't work. You're either male or female at birth. That is your sex. It doesn't make sense to me. Your sexuality can be whatever it wants to be. I could care less. They're trying to change the definitions, of course, and the Pope going along with it now. This is sickening. This is sickening. It shows you where the world is heading when the speaker of the Catholic Church is no longer, I would say, even pure as a Catholic should be. I'm not Catholic, I'm Methodist Christian, but I mean, I have my beliefs. I could care less about their preferences, but when you're born, you are born with a one or the other. You're not born with an it or they. I don't know what organ that would be. It's all being upsetting, though, watching the news and seeing even Christianity itself being twisted and warped by this utterly woke society. I don't think there's a problem with being honest. Yeah. It's that. Insanity. Insanity at its best. We're trying to keep track of everything that's happening. Of course, you know that's impossible at this rate because as news is flowing in from around the globe as different events unfold, it is hard to keep in touch with everything. We're going to continue to try to do that as everything unfolds. And God bless you guys for being here. God bless you guys for being here every night with us and listening to the news and trying to get it out there and let people know what's actually happening. It is sad. I mean, you have people like Kamala Harris using a word to define itself. I mean, the lunacy is through the roof. God bless you guys. God bless America. And of course, I will see you guys Monday night. I'm going to try to take a longer weekend this weekend. My plan is to go Monday through Friday with news, of course, unless there's breaking news on the weekends. Keep my weekends free. Thank you guys. God bless you. God bless America. And of course, stay tuned. We will be back Monday live at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time unless something breaks over the weekend. Till then, be safe, stay strong, and prepare. Prepare for whatever could happen because I think it's going to happen fast when it does. Good night. God bless you. And God bless America.